You're tuned into Adult Industry Talk, the number one online radio platform for adult industry professionals and organizations to promote their talents, products, services, activities, and events. We are also a platform for individuals and organizations to voice their views, opinions, concerns, and complaints about all types of issues in the adult industry that impact on them in a positive or negative way. We hope you enjoy this episode.
Talk about sex on the radio and video shows.
Well, we are live in the studio with Misty. Misty, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing so good, Charlie. How are you?
I am fantastic. How does it feel to have your own show, Talk Sex with Misty?
I am so excited and I'm so grateful for you giving me this opportunity. I look forward to see how far this goes and to get to know, our callers and you as well. So I'm ready to go.
Fantastic. Actually, you're giving me the opportunity here, not me giving you an opportunity. I love it. This is great. I believe that you have someone waiting to speak with you. I want to.
Exciting.
Oh yes, I've just actually created the URL for listeners to tune in for the show. I'm going to send it to you via Skype, and you can pass it on to your callers to let them know that we are live on air. And
okay.
If you check on your Skype, you're going to see the link to pass on to your callers.
All right, let me see here.
There it is.
Perfect. So I will just copy that then go back to my caller here and ask him to call in so we can have a little chat.
Oh my God, you have someone else waiting as well. There's a Mason on the line waiting to chat with you. This is amazing. Okay, well, why don't should we just have a chat before, or should we bring them in? Because they must be so excited to, Dylan can't wait to speak with you. Why don't we just bring them in? I think that would be a brilliant idea. Let's just bring them in.
I agree, because I'm super excited to talk to Dylan, so.
Okay, fantastic. Well, why don't we, here we go. Let's bring this up here. And, let's try to figure out how I do this now. Okay. In the meantime, while I'm doing this, could you tell your listeners what prompted you to want to do your own show?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm just, and especially the show, I think the question kind of lies with, talking about sex with me. You know, there's some individuals out there that maybe not are so comfortable. And me personally, I love sex. I like to have sex a lot.
Wow.
And
okay.
I want to experience different forms of pleasure. And so I figured, with the opportunity with you, why not? Why not have a show to where sexy, young or older, just full of cum could call into me
okay.
and could talk with me.
Okay, tell me, can callers say anything to you on your show? What are the limits or the limitations for your show?
We actually have very small limitations, and to be honest with you, that's how I love it. I want true, hard facts and just completely honest. So I will be completely honest with my listeners.
Yes.
All I ask is for them to be completely honest with me. There's no holds bar. There's no holds back. Yes. Whatever my listeners want to know about me, about women, about relationships, if they want to give me their stories or their experiences and we could just have a good laugh about it, it is all open.
Okay.
All open.
Fantastic. Well, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to actually sort of take a pause from this call and bring the other group session in so that Dylan can join us. Let me just...
Perfect.
Okay, bear with me 1 second. Here we go. So I'm just going to end this and then I'm going to call you right back, okay? Fantastic.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll play a little music from my favorite artist, Alan Trotman. He's actually from Barbados but lives in Boston, and he has amazing sounds. He plays the trumpet, he plays the saxophone. The guy is amazing. So let me just play a few words from him, a few notes from him, sorry, and we'll come back to our conversation
Sounds
with you and
sexy.
Dylan. Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
Bear with me a
Thank you
second.
so much. Hey, Charlie.
Hello, Misty. How are you doing? I believe we
I'm
have...
good. I'm sorry.
Fantastic. I believe we have your guest Dylan on the line, and Dylan, I can't wait to speak with you. Why don't you speak with Dylan, and I'll just be I'll be the elephant in the room.
That's perfect. Hey, Dylan. How are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me. So
No
what are you
problem.
doing? How about you tell me a little bit about yourself? How old are you, Dylan? Dylan, can you hear me? Dylan? Do we still have Dylan? Dylan, Charlie?
Actually, yes, Dylan is still on the line. Dylan might be a little shy right now, so why don't we just continue chatting, and Dylan can come back into the conversation.
in.
Absolutely.
At any
Yes.
point in time.
Okay, we were just talking about whether or not your callers can say anything they want during your show, and what are the limitations. And you said it's no holds bars. That is fantastic. Can we talk a bit about the strategy, how it works for your show? When people want to talk sex with Misty, they simply, of course, have to call via Skype, or we would call them into the discussion via Skype, and they're live. It's that simple. It's just a normal living room style discussion. You guys can speak about whatever you want to talk about. What I would like to say at this point,
Absolutely. I just want it to feel like it's just me and you, Dylan. Like there's nobody else. It's just me and you on the line. And it's just, just feel like it's our private conversation. And that just goes out to all my listeners.
And we should also state that if someone is a bit shy and doesn't want to actually speak, that's not a problem. They can text or message, and of course you can then, of course, you can sort of, as a reality situation, you can say what they're talking to you about and how you respond and so on, and have it as a reality type discussion via audio. Okay.
Yes, that is completely true. And I don't mind at all. I would love to kind of take on, that sort of perspective. So,
Okay.
Dylan, if you wanted to just text with me, that would be okay too.
Okay, fantastic. Well, yeah. Well, let's just invite Dylan to text you if he doesn't. He's not ready to actually have a conversation live on the air.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
Okay. Let's talk a bit about. Can people contact you from all over the world?
Yes, absolutely. Whatever your time zone, it is not an issue. I am on every Saturday.
Yeah.
From 8 to 9, and that is Pacific time.
Okay.
So I do know that there's some places in Europe, they're about 12 hours, ahead. So it'd be some morning time, but, I am more than willing to
Isn't it
have
amazing?
discussions.
Isn't it amazing the technology that we have available to us today? Where I'm in Barbados producing the show, you are in the United States, and your guests can be
Las
anywhere
Vegas,
in
baby.
the world. I'm so sorry,
Absolutely.
Las Vegas. Oh, sorry.
Yes, I am in Sin City.
Of course.
Gotta represent, right?
And your guests can be
Absolutely.
anywhere in the world. I mean, that's amazing, the technology we have available today. And you're going to have such a fantastic show. Let us get to know you. I want to talk about your relationship with sex. Now, you've never worked in the sex industry, from what you've told me, and yet you're so comfortable talking about sex. Where does this comfort zone come from? How come you're so comfortable talking about sex? Most women, you can't even talk about sex until date number 5. Tell us, where do you get this fearlessness from in talking about sex?
I think it comes from, one, just enjoying pleasure, enjoying and knowing my body, and knowing that pleasure, and if something feels good, it's not bad. And so you should embrace that, and you should be open to it. And that's ultimately when I embraced my sexuality and my pleasure, that's when that intensified tremendously.
All right, let's
I was able to have deeper and more extreme orgasms. And so it's not a bad thing. Why not be completely open and honest with what you enjoy and what you to give pleasure as well.
Okay, let's get down and dirty here now, because if Dylan is too shy to talk to you right now, I certainly am not. So for Dylan's benefit and for everyone's benefit, including Dylan, I'm going to get down and dirty. What do you enjoy most when you're making love? What is your favorite position? What is your favorite technique? Tell us about your sexual activity. Let's get dirty here.
Absolutely. All right, let's get down to the nuts of it. To be honest with you, it definitely depends on my partner. I definitely like to just go with the flow and see, feed off of my partner and have him feed off of me. But once we're kind of getting into it, so it could start out with some foreplay, some nice, soft and sensual, or it could go right into some just straight fucking. And so it's, I kind of leave that to my partner. Sometimes I would like him to take the lead. Sometimes, if he likes it, I would take the lead. But if we would just want to get to just the black and white of it, and just talk about a position, I love to be bent over.
Wow. Okay.
And to be answered, absolutely. That is super hot to me. Mm-hmm. As well as reverse cowgirl.
You were born
that is
for this. You were born to be on a talk show about sex, Misty. I swear to God. I mean, you've never done this before. You've never been in the sex industry, and you're so comfortable. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. What do you want to accomplish from doing your show? What do you... in terms of your interaction with your guests, is it that you want them to become more open about sex? Do you think that it will? What do you think? How are they going to benefit from talking to you on your show? Besides getting an orgasm, I'm sure.
If I could give just one, Dylan, if I could give you just a nice, sweet, quiet orgasm, I would be the happiest woman in the entire world. No, I love that question. And for me, I think one, personally, what is to gain by me doing this show is the connection that I could have to my listeners and the overall experience. Life is all about experiences.
Yes.
And so just as this experience is for my listeners, it's quite the experience for me. For all my listeners, point, what I'm hoping to gain or to benefit is a different perspective. Right along with the experience for them, but a different perspective on, just as women aren't as open to discuss, that's kind of, it leaves it to where men cannot be comfortable enough to speak with the females and ask them questions, ask them about their vaginas, ask them about the G-spot, and it could be different with different women, but at least then, I could have some females that are listening in and they can call in and then they can, put their thoughts or their feelings on it if they so choose. So,
Okay.
this show, I don't want it just to reach men and to talk about the
Yes.
way I like to come. I want to know how they like to come. I want another female to call in and tell me how she likes to come, or just tell me stories. So I really want to just reach out and just connect.
What are some of the annoying things or things that annoy you when you're having sex with a man?
Annoy me.
Yes.
Well, I'd say he better not fart. He better not fart. If he is entering into this sweet type pussy, he better keep those ass cheeks closed. I had it happen once. It was not cute. It was not cute.
And I can imagine that when it happens, it's like the elephant in the room because everyone pretends that it did not happen.
Right? They get this quiet look, and I'm just like, not me. I'm like straight up with it. I'm like, I look at him and I'm like, did you just fart?
No,
As you
please
are
tell
balls
me you don't do
deep
that.
inside of me.
Please tell me you don't do that. No, you can't do that, Misty. You cannot embarrass them like that.
It's only happened to me once, Charlie. And I was like, please tell me you did not fart when you are balls deep inside of me. That did not just happen. And then I was just like, fuck it, just finish.
On behalf of all men around the world, you cannot do that. You have to pretend it did not happen. You have to pretend you did not hear that.
Oh shit, he was good. He kept pumping. He kept pounding. He was just like that this pussy is too good. I don't care. He's probably thinking, shut your mouth. He's probably thinking, quit talking, girl. Just let me finish. But
what are some of the other things that you do not like that annoy you about men? Or I'm not saying that it may not be something that has happened. It may be something that you would not like to happen in the future. So just tell me some things that you wouldn't like or wouldn't, that would definitely annoy you.
Absolutely. I think one thing that is very important for my listeners, or just men in general, or maybe just partners in general, is learn your partner. I think that's so important. Learn what they like. Ask, or is this okay? Do you like it when I touch here? Learn the anatomy, the body, and that is the best way that you're going to have the overall best sexual experience. And the most pleasure. So not necessarily that it's annoying, but just that I just think that's something that is very important when you are with your partner, whether it's a hookup, a one night stand, or, this is a long time partner. Like, let them know and ask. Absolutely.
Okay.
Besides that, I'm not really down for asshole play. I had a guy once ask me to have some ass time with him and wanted me to play with his asshole, and I did. I did, because I'm a pleaser.
Okay.
But you know what? It wasn't too hot for me. I ain't gonna lie.
I am not into anal sex either. And people, oh, by the way, there's a Mason who is trying to contact you, actually. I'm just wondering if I could have him join the conversation in terms of messaging, perhaps, and if he's brave enough, he can certainly join us. Let us see if I can. Let's see if I can add Mason to the chat here. So
we actually have more people on the air than just than just one caller, because that would be amazing.
You are on your way to becoming a celebrity. Don't you know that?
Oh, I love my guys. Dylan, I love you. I can't wait for us to chat more and talk more.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to get the. Okay, let's see if. How do I?
We had Charlie too, didn't we?
I'm sorry.
We had Charlie too, didn't we?
Charlie, that's me.
We had Charlie on the line.
That's me, isn't it?
Oh, a different Charlie, sweetheart.
Oh, no, sorry, baby. Sorry, there's only one Charlie. I'm sorry. There's
You're
only
like, there
one,
can be
Charlie.
only one.
Forget
There
it.
can only be one.
Of course. Of course. I think that Mason has stepped away for a moment. Okay, here we go. Hang on. Where we are.
Right.
Okay, I'm trying to
While you're
get...
trying to...
Yes, I'm trying to get him on with... I think he stepped away for a minute. I'll try to get him back here. I just said hello to him. Okay, well, while we're waiting for Mason to come back to us, we can... let's continue. You know, I do not particularly like anal sex. I've tried it a few times with a number of ladies when I lived in Europe, and it doesn't do anything for me, to be honest.
So would this be you entering in anal, or her playing with you anal?
I know. Me entering her anally from behind.
Okay.
Somehow, I've come from a culture where that is really taboo here in the Caribbean.
Taboo?
Yes, it's very, very taboo. And there was a point at which I started to enjoy it, but at the end of the experience, it didn't do enough for me. I tried it a few times, and no, it's not for me. But people rave about it, and I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, so you're saying
Absolutely.
also that it is not for you either, correct?
No, to be honest with you, I love anal. I love it when it's being done to me.
Oh,
I just
see.
don't like to be touching their butthole. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't mind to be bent over and to be entered that way, as long as they're respectful and they are caring to me. You know, to be slow.
Yes.
Because it's very, it's very tight at first. So to be slow and sensitive and to kind of caring to my backside, before, and then as they enter, to be very slow and just gradually get. Yes. I love a good pounding from anal. I can come from it very well.
Do you get a much bigger orgasm from anal sex than vaginal sex?
See, that one's hard. I've actually tried to figure that on how, but to be honest, I believe it's with my partner. I've had amazing orgasms from anal with one partner, and then just with another through vaginal. And so I think it's how they move. I think it's the shape of the penis. I've noticed that even though there's a standard look to a penis, the same as a vagina, they have slightly different looks and different shapes. And so when you're having your intercourse, it's entirely different experiences between your partner from one to another.
I see.
And so it's quite interesting, really, in my experience.
Okay, I've just added Dylan to the chat in case he wanted to message you, by the way. So if you look in the chat room on Skype, you can see anyone. By the way, you're tuned into Adult Industry Talk, and I'm on
looks like Dylan left the conversation.
I see. Okay, all right. We're tuned into Adult Industry Talk.
Hi, Dylan. Thank you.
I'm just trying to do station identification and I can't get it done here. Give me a second. Okay. You're tuned into Adult Industry Talk. I am the producer, Charlie Spice, and the host tonight is Misty. The title of the show is Talk Sex with Misty, and this is the actual first episode. So it's a bit of an introduction to Misty, an introduction to the show, and a bit of personal conversation as well. So if you are listening to this broadcast and you want to join the conversation, just simply add us to Skype at Charlie Spice, or add Charlie Spice to your Skype contact, message me, and I will add you to the discussion.
Oh my gosh, please do. I can't wait to talk to somebody. I mean, I love talking to you, Charlie, but how fun would it be to get somebody else's perspective, right? Bring somebody else in.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So I'm hoping we get another listener calling in.
Of course, the whole, well, it's good that we have this introduction show, because then this show will serve as a sort of a tutorial for people going forward who want to listen in or participate in your discussion. The show is international. You can call in from anywhere in the world, and the audience can tune in live or in the archives, because after every live broadcast, the shows go into the archives and they're available for anyone to tune in at any time in the future. It is again amazing. I really thank you for having the courage to start your own show, even though you've never done it before, and also the fact that you've never been in the industry and you're so open. This is amazing. You are going to be hugely successful. I have no doubt that you're going to create an enormous fan base and go on to perhaps I may have to make an appointment with your secretary to even talk to you offline or online. So let's hope it gets to that point. Of course, I have a soft spot for you, Misty, from the first time we met when you replied to my ad on Facebook. Let's talk a bit about you now. Where do you see yourself in the next year or two, particularly being in Sin City? God help you being in Sin City. Someone like you in Sin City, you've gone to the right place. But where do you see yourself?
Absolutely. Ain't I naughty? I'm such a naughty girl. Naughty Misty in Sin City. Yeah, within the next couple of years, to be honest, I would love to be either taking this to the next level. There's always room for growth. Yes. I love to move forward and up in anything that it is that I'm doing.
Yes.
So, or maybe leaning towards my own business. So entrepreneur. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I know that Las Vegas is such a great place to be. I mean, the culture here is amazing. Very welcoming and warm, and there's so much opportunity. So I absolutely love it. So I think the sky is not the limit for me. It's just there's no limitations.
Yes,
no limitations, but what I choose for myself. So I'm really excited to be here.
Do you think that you would go into the adult entertainment industry proper? Do you see that happening for you in the future?
I don't think I would be opposed. I really don't. But on that same token now, and I'm not too familiar with the background, maybe you can jump in, on this for me. But if I was going to do it, I would really like to establish myself in this industry first. That way I could enter into maybe the porn industry as somewhat known. Because if I'm going to perform or do something like that, I would like it to be very profitable, right? That would be the smart way, the intelligent way to go through it. So that would, but with that being said, it would be complete beneficial for me, because it would be, one, profitable, and two, I've actually always fantasized about having sex with a porn star. Because I just think they're super experienced, and it would just be completely fun and exciting.
Let's ask some questions about. Let me ask you a few questions that people have asked me over the years, and I want to get your take on it. What do you think about being in the sex industry and having a boyfriend at the same time? Do you think that these two things go together? Do you think it is possible? What challenges do you think you would have if you were in the sex industry as a porn star and at the same time you have a boyfriend? Or if you were an escort, for example, and you had a boyfriend, do you see that working? How do you see that working?
Okay, so to be honest, I do. I think it depends on the perceptions and the thought process of the two individuals involved. If my partner could understand that what I'm doing, whether it was porn or escort, was business, then, and they could be gracious and considerate and respectful that is my profession. I'm not making love, to my clients.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then when I come home to him, he is my life. He is my personal, he's my man. And so when I'm with him, it's nothing but love. And so,
yes.
Yeah,
okay,
but
let me interject. Let me interject. It's extremely difficult because many partners, many individuals are jealous by nature, and it can be extremely difficult when you are a jealous individual, knowing that your partner is out there having sexual interaction with other persons, some of whom are maybe better in bed than you are, or maybe may be more well endowed sexually, may have a much bigger dick than you have, and your partner is having sex and probably having a bigger orgasm. That can be extremely difficult to embrace, very difficult to cope with. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. He would have to be a very secure and confident man within himself, his ability to please his woman, and with their love. And granted, I understand that's, that can be rare, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's human nature to be, this is mine. This is what I love, so this is mine. And so I do understand the difficulties, but in my personal opinion, it is possible, and it's definitely possible for me. So let's turn the table.
Yes, it happens. There are many people in the sex industry who have husbands or boyfriends, and somehow they make it work. But for the most part, it does not work. And it might work for a little while, but if the two personalities are not mature and understanding enough and confident enough in each other and in their union as a couple or a boyfriend-girlfriend, it can be very difficult and impossible.
Let's just change the situation. So if it was my man who was in the porn industry, okay, and so he's going to work every day, and he is putting his amazing cock in all of this amazing, beautiful pussy, how would I feel about it?
Yes.
And I'll tell you this, now, again, this might be different if it was really happening. I have no idea. I don't have the emotions into it, but let me just say how my standpoint is right now. I would be 100% okay with him leaving every day and having sex with beautiful women and coming home with 5 or 10 grand and giving me half. Okay? As long as he gave me half, then he's good to go.
Keeping it real here.
Absolutely.
This is Misty keeping it real. I suppose the money part of it sort of makes it a bit more palatable. But it's one thing to say that when it's not actually happening, but when you are in there, I think we would have to have this conversation again when you do have a partner and you are and you happen to be in the industry, or he happens to be in the industry. We would have to address this question again at that time, because it's one thing to say what you would do when it's really not happening as yet. This hypothetical thing can be, you can control the emotions in a hypothetical situation, but it can be extremely difficult. Now let's talk about society and family and so on. If you were to go into the sex industry, how do you think your friends would react to you, and then of course your relatives, and how would you then counter react?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I have the people I surround myself, they're very open-minded and positive and caring. Would they absolutely agree with my choice of profession? Maybe not, but I think at the end of the day, would they be supportive, and would they, still love me? Absolutely. I really surround myself with very positive and open-minded people. And so I think that they would embrace eventually, maybe not watch me perform, depending on who it is, a solid family member, obviously, but.
Okay. Allow me to say at this point, Misty, that I'm not I'm not. I would never encourage you to get into the sex industry. I would certainly encourage you to be a host on this media platform and be the best host you could be. I love that. But I would never try to encourage you to get into the sex industry. If you decided on your own you wanted to do that, then I would, of course, with all my experience, because I've been in this industry for over 30 years, with all my knowledge and understanding of the dynamics and the mechanics of the industry and all the psychology and all of the complexities of the industry that I'm aware of, I would give you the benefit of all that sorry, I can't even speak now. The benefit of all that experience and try to guide you in the right way. But I would never encourage you to do it unless it's what you want to do.
Daddy.
You know?
Daddy Charlie.
Yes, darling. Yes, darling.
No, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And no, to be honest, I'm happy where I am. I like to be kind of the diamond in the rough. I like to kind of be that unique pussy that everybody wants, but just the few special can have. So I don't plan on joining, the porn industry or anything like that anytime soon. But with that being said, I just, I tease, but I give to the right man, if that makes sense.
Of course. Now, I have to pose this question, Misty. I took a good look at a few of the pictures you exchanged with me, and I noticed that your tits are pretty large. What size tits do you have?
I'm actually a 38 double D natural.
Oh,
I love my tits. Mm-hmm.
If we were on video right now, you would have seen my jaw drop. So I'll have to tell you, my jaw just dropped. Okay. Anyway, wonderful. Now, did you have large breasts from very young, or did it all of a sudden just blew up?
No, starting out the gate, I remember being in 5th grade and boys teasing me, saying I was Dolly Parton. So I've always just right out the gate, my mama blessed me.
Wow.
And just gave me these big old chas.
Fantastic.
And here's something else fun to let y'all know. They're pierced. So I do have my nipples pierced.
Oh, well, I could not have seen that from the photos, but thanks for that information.
I know, right? I told you, no holds barred. No holds barred.
That's going to help me when I go to bed tonight, and I have to make a choice. What am I going to dream about tonight? I do choose before I go to bed what I dream about. I'm pretty good at that.
Don't lie, Charlie. You're gonna have some thoughts about me, and maybe reach under the covers.
Of course.
Maybe do a little touching of your own in my name.
Misty, I have a confession to make, Misty. I have been reaching for myself since we started talking about 30-40 minutes ago. So you're on the bus behind. You're on the bus behind.
That is
okay.
That is so perfect. I love it.
Now, people have often wondered if smaller breasts have more sensation than bigger breasts, or vice versa. Can you give your listeners some feedback on this? Are bigger breasts more sensitive than smaller breasts?
I would not say that it is the size of the breast that matters with sensitivity. I would say that it depends on the nipples themselves. The nipples on a female is where you get, that sensitivity spot or that pleasure spot. I know some girls, they don't like to have their titties played with. Me, I love to have my titties sucked on and play with. It just gets me wet right away. But it just depends on the female, and it depends on her nipples.
Mm-hmm.
So titty size doesn't matter.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that's something that has come up in many conversations with the boys, with the lads,
Absolutely. I'm sure we just answered that question for how many of our listeners right now? They were like...
Millions.
There you go.
Let's think in the millions, please. Okay, let's think in the
Yes,
millions.
I hope so. We have 1 million listeners right now.
Okay.
And
We
all
gotta-
y'all call in.
we've got to talk about orgasms. We cannot finish this show
Absolutely.
without talking about
My-
orgasm. Your
my
orgasms
favorite
in particular.
subject.
Yes.
Oh,
What-
hell yeah.
What is the one thing that gets you off the quickest, the biggest explosion of orgasm? Tell me.
Of orgasm?
Yes.
Ooh,
Is
I
it someone
would
playing with your
say-
clit, licking your clit? Is it doggy style position? What is the type of interaction that can make you come fast, really quickly?
Yeah. I would have to say just that standard, like that standard position where I'm laid down. And the reason being, but I like to have something underneath my lower back to where it positions my
Okay.
pelvic and
Okay.
my ass and my pussy in just that upright position. And to have my partner above me, and because that way he can play with my clit. We both can see him entering inside of me, and him and I can connect our eyes. There is nothing like looking into the eyes of your partner as you are coming. That does it for me.
Don't you just hate
That-
having sex with a
Stick
man?
together.
Don't you just hate having sex with a man where he's definitely there just to please himself?
Oh God, absolutely. It can guarantee that I would not see him again. And that's not being mean. Like I get that some don't really know yet or don't understand that it's got to be a mutual thing and that it'll benefit them. Because if she is experiencing pleasure, she's going to arch her back. She's going to moan. She's going to bite her bottom lip. She's going to reach up and just grab her breasts or grab his ass and bring him into her. Some guys don't know that, but so it's just it depends on both. If you are pleasing her,
Yeah.
you are going to get that in return. It's going to come back to you tenfold because she is going to get freaky. She is going to get freaky, and so his orgasm is going to be just as hard and
Yes,
just
many-
as just
Too many
sexual.
men are selfish when it comes to making love, and yes, we've had this discussion so many times, and I think when men realize that to be unselfish and to give the woman the attention that she craves, that would be reciprocated. Anyway, getting back to
Absolutely,
your
there come intensify tenfold.
God, you're going to have so many questions thrown at you by your guests. I'm questions are just flying through my mind right now. You talked about having your nipples pierced. When did you have them done, and how painful was it? And thirdly, is it painful when you're making love and your partner is, playing with your tits or perhaps he's got your nipples in his mouth? Is that a bit cumbersome? Is it a bit cumbersome? Does he need time to get? Did he need time to get used to that? Because it can be a bit awkward. It's not natural. It's not humanly natural for that. So that's something that one has to get accustomed to. What are your responses to that? Or those questions? Sorry.
Absolutely. This is my favorite, I think. I really love my titties. So to talk about them is just so fun for me. Okay, so I got my nipples pierced about 7.5 months ago. I went in, it was just on a whim. I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to have my nipples pierced. Why not do it? So I went into my local piercing, laid down on the table. I had this amazing girl, and I'm not okay. So I'm not a lesbian, and there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian or being a homosexual.
Yeah.
I'm not. But when she stuck that needle through my nipple, I got turned on.
I have to stop you there, Misty, because we have a DJ Danny chatting with us right now. And DJ Danny is getting straight to the point. He's getting straight to the point. If you look if you look, actually, you can. Let me tell you what he's asking. He's asking you, what is your take on eating ass?
Like me eating ass or
Yes.
them eating ass?
Well,
So eating the groceries.
let's discuss it from both angles. Okay.
Absolutely. Let's go there. Okay, so to be honest with you, if it's going to be them eating my ass,
Yes.
I am all for it. If it makes him come harder and he just loves just to lick around the rim and even to penetrate,
Yes.
I am all for it. And his pleasure can feed my pleasure, can turn me on. Now, I have been asked when we go the other way, I have been asked if I would eat my partner. And this was just a random hookup. And so that was a definite no. Unfortunately for him, I wasn't going to go there with a random. Now, if I had a solid partner and he loved me doing that, I would do that for him. Absolutely. 100%.
Of course, but certainly you would suggest the long shower before or bath before you start the intercourse, obviously.
Did I not lead with that? Charlie, did I not lead with that? My bad. Of course. Let's talk about a very long and hot, soapy shower beforehand.
Okay.
Both ways.
Okay. Listen, you're tuned into Adult Industry Talk, and this show is Talk Sex with Misty. Misty is the host of the show. I'm the producer, and I'm just filling in until the guests get the courage, because not many people will have the courage to come on the show with Misty, I'm sure. But I hope that Danny heard the answer to that. If you're still tuned in to us, Danny, just send me a message to let me know that you got that answer, and certainly you can feel free to pose any other questions. Anyone who's listened to the show,
and if you liked it, Danny. Yes, Danny, I want to know if you like the answer, if you don't agree with it, if you want to add to my answer, or continue off with your conversation. I want to hear it all, baby boy. So let us know. Hit Charlie up and just tell me if that was the answer you were looking for and what that means to you.
Absolutely. I don't think I sent you the link to the show. Let me send you the link, because then you'll be able to see the actual messages in there. So let me just send you this link right now here. Actually, no, I did send you the link. If you click on that link that I sent you earlier, I'll send it again right now. You can actually see any messages that are being sent to you in the studio. Yeah. But sometimes when you go to that link, if the volume is up, there will be feedback, because that link.
Danny, he is looking yummy.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, DJ Danny. Yeah, he is sexy looking. I hope he's still on.
Easy, Misty. I'm getting jealous here now. I had all of your attention for the past I don't know 45 minutes. Now suddenly it's all Danny, DJ Danny. Okay, take it easy. All right.
He just stepped in. Oh, I love you, Charlie.
Okay,
your daddy, good. Charlie.
Good. Well, if you want to call into the studio and speak with Misty directly, you can actually call us. Add Charlie Spice to your Skype contact and send us a message, and we will bring you into the studio, and you can join the discussion live and direct with Misty. You can ask her anything you
Absolutely.
want. Misty is here to answer all your questions, and who knows, you might be lucky enough to make love online with Misty at some point in time. I'm sure Misty would be happy to talk you through an orgasm online. Now, wouldn't that be awesome?
I absolutely would. Oh my God! And I might do a little something myself.
You're gonna might just be too hot. I
can't help it.
You're gonna have them lining up to come onto your show to have their.
Oh my God! And so yes. So let me also say to my listeners, so I'm on every Saturday from 9 until 10. So an hour, or excuse me, that was 8 to 9. That's 8 to 9 Pacific Standard.
Okay,
so
fantastic.
Yes, come join me.
Of course, and I do believe that sometimes if you have a big request from people to speak with you, we could always bring your show forward at any time. I mean, we don't need much notice. We could put you on the air if we've got a slot available. We can slot you in. We can notify your fan base that you're going to be on in 1 hour or 2 hours, and we can just do an impromptu show at any time as long as there's available. Because you have to strike when it's hot. So when the people are hot and they've got their dicks in their hands.
I love that.
That's the time you want to talk to them. When the dick is in the hand, that's the time you talk to your guests.
Yes.
And
hot makes me wet.
Of course, we keep stressing about the men, but this show is also for ladies who want to talk to Misty about their sexual experiences. If you want to talk about your sexual fetishes or your fantasies, as a woman, certainly. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Charlie. No, I was just going to say for my ladies, like I want you ladies to look at me as your best girlfriend. You definitely come on in, ask me questions or offer me. I'm so down to learn. I might get a call or there might be a gorgeous porn star out there listening right now.
Okay.
And or maybe a gorgeous stripper, and she wants to call in and she wants to add in her experiences and just give us, something to chat about. And we will just talk like girlfriends on a sleepover, and we'll have a great time. So okay. So I want my ladies to know that I am your girl. Like, definitely call in.
I have got news for you. There is another person in the chat room, Jewish producer, and he's adding you. Actually, he's now become one of your followers on our platform. So you are getting popular, darling. You are getting popular. Fantastic. Well, actually, if you look you can actually chat in the chat room with any of your followers, and maybe just give a shout out to your Jewish producer. Okay, fantastic. Well, he just actually he's just added us as Charlie Spice. Charlie Spice on. I can hardly speak. I'm so excited. Let me take my hand off my dick. Let me take the hand off the dick so I can talk properly.
Just for a second, okay. Charlie. Just for a second, please.
If you're listening to the show, you want to join the discussion to speak directly with Misty, just add Charlie Spice. I'll actually put it in the chat. Charlie Spice on Skype, and we'll bring you into the studio and you can speak directly with
Jewish producer. Call me. I want to hear your voice. I think it'd be so fun. Just call on in. Mm-hmm. I would love to speak with you.
And I'm not selfish, guys. I will share the conversation. When you come into the studio via Skype, I will mute my microphone and let you go for it. Okay. Well, have you realized that we have been chatting for more than 1 hour already?
Oh my gosh, we did not go over our time.
It's not a problem. That is fine. Okay. We're good on time. It's not a problem. Time flies when you're having sex.
Fun. When you're having right? That should be our spill. Like, this is kind of like I want to have sex with my listeners. Like every hour, every time that my show is on, I want to have sex.
Let me tell you
with each
something,
and every single one of you.
I want you to give orgasms on your show. I want men to actually masturbate while chatting with you. And that is going to be your calling card.
Oh my God, that is so hot. I'm not gonna lie. And fellas, go check out my pictures. Go check out my pictures, and then it could intensify that orgasm maybe. Mm-hmm.
If I may,
let me know about it.
If I may say something about adult industry talk for a moment, because absolutely. I think it's important that I use every opportunity to talk about our platform. Adult Industry Talk is an online talk show for the adult entertainment industry. We are inviting people from around the world to become hosts on the show, and they can have their own audience, their own fan base, and they can talk about anything pertaining to sex. It's also going to be a great opportunity for anyone in the industry to voice their concerns or their complaints or their views within the industry. It's also a platform to promote products in the industry. If you've got a sex toy to promote, or you want to promote yourself as a stripper or a porno performer or a webcam performer, you can come on to our show as a promotion guest. There is a fee to be a promotion guest because you're there to promote your product or your service, and between 5 and 15 minutes you get the opportunity to promote your product, and you're in a live interview discussion with the host, so it's more animated. It's a lot better than just putting a banner ad somewhere. You're actually in a discussion about your product, and
right. But that's only if you're going to be advertising. That's only if you're going to be advertising.
That is an advertising
otherwise, calling in and speaking with me, that is completely free.
Absolutely, a conversation with Misty is totally free. Or if perhaps you're just calling in to talk about your agenda. You may be a sex worker activist, or you may be a therapist, a psychologist, a sociologist, and
you may not agree with.
Correct.
Exactly. You may not agree with people, with being open with sex, or you might have something, that is just, it doesn't kind of coincide. Like, call in. We want to hear about it. We want to talk about it. We want to pick your brain, and we want to be able to offer you ours. And so, absolutely, it goes both ways.
Okay, great. There's another person in the chat room, by the way. If you want to shout out, give them a shout out. I tell you, this is great, fantastic. That is a GDT who is in the chat room, and he's saying yo. So if it's a brother, or if it's a guy, yo, bro. But yes, your fan base is growing, Misty. Fantastic. I'm so happy that you decided to become a host on our network, and you are going to be phenomenal. I have no doubt about that. But we've actually come to the end of this broadcast, unfortunately.
Oh, already. That's okay, though. That's okay. We will be back. So DJ T, yo, baby, thank you for joining us. Jewish producer.
Correct.
And then who's the other guy? We had DJ Danny. Oh, yeah, the little fine one. Thank you guys so much, and to all of our listeners, and to Dylan, baby boy, if you're still listening, thank you so much for coming on and attempting to speak with me. And don't you worry about a thing. Like, your voice was so cute, like when you did talk. So I hope you can tune in to me again, and we'll see what's up. We'll see about having a conversation.
Why don't we do this again tomorrow, perhaps? Why don't we do this again tomorrow? Because obviously, people want to talk to you. So why don't we do this again tomorrow, and or Monday? I don't know. I don't want to wait an entire week. We can come on whenever you have people wanting to speak with you, and it's convenient to you. Let's do a show.
Absolutely.
It's a talk platform. Let's talk. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk.
Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, time is up. So
an end. All
we're going to have
right.
to bring this show to a close. I'm just going to play that little outro jingle right now, and we'll bring this to an end, and I'll speak to you off air. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Just let me say good night, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Big kisses.
Unfortunately, we have come to the end of this episode of Adult Industry Talk. I would like to thank our sponsors, guests, and our production team. I would also like to thank our listeners for tuning in and giving us an audience. We appreciate your support. If you have an interesting experience, opinion, or agenda about the sex or adult industry to share with our audience, we invite you to be a guest on the show. Please contact our production team at charliespice@gmail.com or visit our website at adultindustrytalk.com. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast. You can listen to a repeat of this episode in the archives at any time in the future. Simply go to our website and follow the links. I am your host, Charlie Spice, saying bye for now, peace and love, I'm out.